Hello students, how are you doing? I hope you are taking the benefits of these classes. So today's topic is procedure of Anuvasan Vasti. In that, I'm going to explain all the steps which we need to follow in Anuvasan Vasti. Okay, in previous classes we have already discussed introduction, indication, contraindication and classification of Anuvasan Vasti and even Matra Vasti also we have discussed. So in today's class we are going to learn what are those steps we need to follow to perform a Anuvasan Vasti. Let's imagine a patient is coming to your clinic and now you have to take history, you have to do all the examinations, right? According to that you'll come up with the diagnosis. According to diagnosis you have to select medicated oil or therapy. So that is the way, that is the right way. So these all steps need to follow. Okay, so these comes in Purv Karam, Pradhan Karam and Paschat Karam. As we discussed in previous classes, especially I was discussing the same thing in Niruha Vasti classes. There was three steps: Purv Karam, Pradhan Karam and Paschat Karam. All those three steps also we have to follow here also. Okay, so there will be Purv Karam and there will be some sub steps we need to follow: Pradhan Karam, Paschat Karam, and the observations of symptoms, observation of Lakshanas, that called here Samyak Anuvasan Lakshanas. Then we are going to discuss some medicated oils which we commonly use in Anuvasan Vasti. So that is what we are going to discuss in today's class. Let's move toward the screen. How to do Anuvasan Vasti. Okay, content we discussed. In Purv Karam is a preparatory stage. In that we have to prepare patient, we have to collect all the material and we have to prepare a therapy room where we are going to perform a therapy. That include Roga Rogi Pariksha and collection of material, that is Sambhar Sangraha, Matra and Kala Nirnya, that means quantity of Sneha and what time is the best for the treatment, and Anuvasana Purva Ahar Vyavastha, what kind of the diet and at what time you have to give to patient before performing the Anuvasan Vasti. As we discussed, Niruha Vasti is always empty stomach and Anuvasan Vasti is after food. So these are the steps you need to follow for Purva Karma in Anuvasan Vasti. Let's start with the Roga Rogi Pariksha. That include patient is indicated or contraindicated. How you'll get to know it? You'll get to know it by examination only, because you have to remember now conditions. What are the conditions in which we should not give Anuvasan Vasti? That was like Amad conditions, Kapha Utkalesha, Ati Kushtha, obesity. These was the conditions where Snehavasti was really contraindicated, right? So how you get to know these conditions? You get to know these conditions by interacting to patient, by examining the patient. So that's why it's really very important. You have to do Dashavida Pariksha, you have to assess Dosha Bala, you have to assess Rogi Bala, you have to do Doshadi Pariksha, general examination, vital examinations and anal examination is really important to perform. Okay. Next steps is toward the Sambhar Sangraha. You need to collect all the material which we need to perform the therapy. Okay, by examination, when your diagnosis will be over, you'll get the clarity what kind of the condition is there and which oil I should select to give, which will give the best result. So if you need that oil, that is a Sambhar Sangraha. You need Sandha, if you are going to add it, then you need Sandha, you need sterilized gloves, you need a towel, and you need a stainless steel syringe also, which is very common nowadays for Anuvasan Vasti. And in some hospitals they are using the plastic syringe also. But the condition is applied here. Condition is that it should be well sterilized. Okay, the syringe should be well sterilized before using it. Then Matra and Kala Nirnaya include the dose. We have discussed it. In Sneha Vasti is 240, Anuvasan Vasti is 120 and Matra Vasti dose is 72 ml. Okay, so time. Classically, according to Acharya Charak, the two time is according to season. He has mentioned it that in winter and spring, Anvasan Vasti should be given in daytime. Okay, when in winter and spring, but in the summer, rainy and autumn season, Vasti should be given in with care. So that is according to Acharya Charak Siddhisthan, first chapter 22-23 shloka. But according to Acharya Shushruta, uh, he said when Pitta is aggravated, Kapha is diminished, and its season is summer season, and the patient is clearly Vata Rogi. If that is the situation, then you can even give Anuvasan Basti in night time also. But when you are performing Basti in night time, there should be very much precautions. Most of the time in practically we perform Anvasan Basti in daytime also. We don't do it in night time. But there is a classical situations Acharya has discussed. If this is the situation, even you can give Anvasan Basti in night time also. Okay, the next step in Purva Karma we need to follow. We have to give Abhyangam and Swedan to patient. So that is the specific Purva Karma. If patient is going for the whole body therapy, then just before Sthanik Snehan Swedan is not required. But if patient is visiting you just for the therapy, just for the Anvasan Basti, then before that Snehan Swedan Sthanik means localized to the pelvic area, lower abdomen and both the thighs, or you can include it even in both the lower limbs. That is really very important. You have to perform it. After that only introduce the Anvasan Basti. Okay. Before Snehan and Swedan, when patient is done with bath, then he is advised to take food. There is a condition applied here in food, what kind of food you have to give to patient. Because see, if patient is visiting to your OPD on everyday basis, then you have to guide patient what kind of food he has to cook and he has to brought to clinic. But if you are providing the food, then still you should have a personal eye on the quality of the food and what kind of texture is the food, because the foods which is heavy for digestion should not be given to the patient. And you need to check the how much quantity patient use on daily basis, on regular basis, because the food before Anvasan Basti should be lesser. 1/4 amount of the regular consumption from the regular consumption should be lesser. For example, here you can understand it like that. If patient usually take 4 chapatis, then before Anvasan Basti, you have to give 3 chapatis only. If patient eat 2 bowls of rice or 2 bowls of khichdi on regular basis, you have to give 1.5 bowl of khichdi only. Okay, so little lesser than the regular diet. Second situation is you have to put little ghee in that, or it should not be too much and it should not be the food should not be very dry. So that's why neither with more fat or not very dry, and followed by with the appropriate liquid. Anupana should be, it could be a warm water or it could be a jeera dhania medicated water, should be appropriate, but preferred is warm water. Don't give cold water. Okay, that's why appropriate liquid. You can give even soup also. Then after finishing the food, tell patient to have some few walks, a couple of steps inside the room only, and tell patient to get free from natural allergies. So when patient is done with the food, with the walk, with the natural urges, tell patient to lie down in the left lateral position, same position I discussed in Niruhavasti. Okay, same position you have to do. Left lateral position means folding his right knee and extending the left leg, and this arm can be used as a pillow. So now patient is on position. So what is the next thing you have to do? See, before introducing oil, have an eye on the temperature of the oil, check its warmness, always check before introducing it, because you should not introduce very hot oil. It's going to create complications. Okay, and you should have an eye on the anal examination also. Look for any local fistula or fissures, and you need to be careful for that. Okay, so in Pradhan Karma, what you have to do? Lubricate the nozzle of syringe with oil, lubricate the anal area, check the temperature of oil, and you can use even metallic syringe, which is really very easily available. I told it before, it should be sterilized, and patient should be comfortable. You before introducing oil or syringe or catheter into the patient's body, see, observe the sense your environment there. It should not be very like somebody is laughing and patient is shaking his body. That should be avoided because it could be a cause of complication. So when you are performing the procedure, be mindful, be alert. Okay, don't take it too lightly, because sometimes when you take very lightly situations and condition is like patient is laughing and therapist introducing the therapy, introducing the enema, that really there are the chances of complications. So that should be taken care of. That's why the patient should not laugh, sneeze or yawn or shake his the body. And there could be one situations like you are introducing the oil, and patient says stop, I want to go to toilet. Okay, then you have to stop and allow patient to go to toilet. When he come back, introduce the remaining part. Another situations, another situation could be like that. Yes, so that, and another situation is it should be given in one pressure, one in one attempt. It's not like that once you are introducing the 50 ml and second time you are introducing 30 ml. No, it should be introduced in one attempt. Don't push it very hard or not push it very slow. Okay, small quantity of liquid should be allowed to remain in the syringe to prevent the entry of air. Here there is a two opinion. Like when we select oil, the first point is oil should be processed, means medicated oil. Always select medicated oil for Nuvasan Vasti, Sneha Vasti or Matra Vasti. Don't use regular kitchen oil. Okay, the one thing. Another thing, when we process oil, when we medicate it, Taila Murchna Vidhi se, when we do it, see, there are the three pakas: Chikana paka, Madhyam paka, and Khara paka. Okay. So according to Acharya Sushruta, he said Khara paka is best for the Nuvasan Vasti. But according to Acharya Charak and Bhagavad, they said Madhyam paka is best, and even you can choose for the chicken paka also. So why it is like that? Because in chicken paka and Madhyam paka there is a moisture. There is a moisture remain, but whereas in Kharapaka the all moisture is evaporated. So according to Acharyas, this moisture really gives smoothness to the colon, and it helps in the absorptions of the oil also. So that is why always prefer, according to me, always prefer Madhyam Paka for Anuvasan Vasti. Okay. Yeah, this is the another point which we need to discuss. Then next we are moving toward the Paschat Karma. You just finished giving the basti, you have introduced the whole thing, and you slowly taken out the syringe or catheter, whatever you are using. The next step is immediately you have to pat the thighs and buttock of patient. Okay. Next you have to raise his legs 3 times, and it will be flexed at the knee and at the hip joint. 3 times that you have to done. Then you have to tell to patient, lie down on the cot, keeping the pillow beneath the leg for 5 to 10 minutes, and lie down in the supine position. Why to do that? Why to tap patient's buttocks and thighs? Why to raise his legs? And yeah, you can do light clockwise massage in his abdomen also with the light pressure, very light pressure, just for 30 seconds. So why to do this? The aim of doing this is so oil should be retained inside the body for a longer period. That is the only aim. Okay. And allow patient to take rest. He should not talk loudly after this basti, and he should not start immediately get up and start walking and running. No, you have to tell patient to be stable and lie down in the supine position only. Okay. So there is a one situation according to Ashtanga Hritya Sutra Sthana. If the sneha comes out quickly, yeah, that could be happen, right? It could be happen. It could come out. So what to do that time? If the sneha comes out quickly, another enema should be administered immediately, because sneha does not retain inside, will not serve the purpose. So that is the opinion by Ashtanga Hritya. Okay. Then if There is another situation. If Sneha not eliminated out within a day, the whole day Sneha doesn't come. It's 24 hours already and Sneha is not coming out. But there is no complications also. Patient is not telling about headache or heaviness or any kind of thing. Then what to do? Just ignore it. Okay, you don't have to do anything. But the patient, you have introduced the Basti, it's already 6 to 7 hours and patient is calling you and telling you that he's getting a stomach pain, he's getting heaviness in the head, he's getting heaviness. I've seen patients after Anuvasan Basti, they used to get the severe backache. It's very severe. She was not able to get up from the bed. It was such a heavy and in two patients I have observed it. Okay, so what to do in that condition? Tell me what to do. It could be happen. So if this is the situation, then you have to manage that situation with, you can give Abhyaristam, you can give Pipliyadiristam, 20 ml, add 20 ml warm water up and give 2 times or 3 times after food according to condition. You can give medicated water with jeeraka, with dhanyaka, and you can put even little ajwain you can put. So that kind of medicated, which is Deepana and Pachana, you can give that for drinking, and you have to give Abhyaristam and Pipliyasma. Even according to me, you can give even Sthanik Sneh and Swedan also. That really help. You can advise them even the tub bath also. They can sit in the tub if it is really low back. Then in warm water tub they can sit for some time. That helps. If it is not working, then you have to plan for the next Tikshna Basti. Okay, so you should know these things, how to manage these situations which comes and which could happen. Now observation. Next we are moving toward the observation. What are the signs and symptoms is given by the patient's body, so which will define the procedure is going in the right way, in a perfect way, and therapist is really benefiting patients. Okay, so some symptoms you can see, observe in the same day. Some will come within 2-3 days, some will come after the completion of the course, and some may be after the 1 month. So it's not like that everything, all the symptoms you can observe in the same day, but you should know what are the symptoms, what are the signals given by the body or by the patient, which shows the whole procedure is going in a right way. So that is called Samyak Anuvasan Lakshanas. The same day you can observe Sneha comes out without any discomfort along with Vata and stool. Clarity of senses, intellect and Raktadi Dhatu Shuddhi can be observed after the whole procedure. Feeling of lightness you can observe in the same day or maybe after 2-3 days. Increase of strength, patient can observe during the procedure only. Regulation of excretory urges during the procedure or after the procedures, and proper sleep during the procedure only you can observe. So these are the lakshanas which signifies the procedure is going in a right way. Okay, so these are the Anuvasan Vasti Samyak Lakshanas. Here I am giving you another homework. You have to write down in your notes Ayoga Lakshana and Ati Yoga Lakshanas. Here I am just discussing Samyak Yoga Lakshana. You have to find out, you have to write down in your notes Ati Yoga Lakshana and Ayoga Lakshana of Anuvasana Vasti. Okay. So, and there is one more, there should not be any discomfort and burning sensation. Another, according to Shushruta, another Samyak Anuvasana Vasti Lakshana. There is commonly practiced Anuvasana Vasti oils according to disease. For example, Dhanvantaram Tela. In Dhanvantaram Telam, you can think about giving Dhanvantaram Telam Anuvasana Vasti in situation like where Vata and Pitta is really aggravated, where the Vata and Pitta is really aggravated in Apana Vayu Sthana, right? In that way you have to think. Sahasrara Telam is really very effective in sciatica condition, Kati Shula, even in the Janu Shula, and even neurological conditions. You can think about it and you can give the Anuvasana Vasti or Matra Vasti with the Sahasrara Telam. I have seen in sciatica condition, Matravasti of Sahasrara Telam and Kativasti with Sahasrara Telam. and Sthanic Lepam, Kottanchukadi Lepam is really very helpful. Okay, so you can combine the therapies. Shirvala Telam is very commonly used for Matravasti and Anuvasanavasti in many conditions because it's mainly Vata Pitta Shamana. Okay, this is you can use this in mixed connective tissue disorder. I have used this for even in the Parkinson's patient also, and sensory nerve disorders in RS spectrum. You can think about it and you can use it. Even when you are planning for these bastis, you can mix two oils also. Okay, and you can mix the oil and ghirta also. Shatahavadi Telam is mainly Kafahara. Madhuyashtyadi Telam RS spectrum. I use Madhuyashtyadi Telam in Rajayapana Basti also. So Balaguduchyadi Telam, Vatarakta, Murrivenam, anal fissure, Lakshadi Telam, osteoporosis, and Mahanarayanam Telam is Vata Pitta Hara and osteoporosis. The main ingredient of Mahanarayana Telam is Shatavari. So that was the today's class. So in next class we are going to discuss Anuvasana Basti, complication and its management. It's a syllabus point and one is really very important because we need to know why the complications comes. What are the causes of complications? Where is the mistake is done by doctor or therapist or the wrong decision which will rise complication, and if it comes then how to manage that. So that is which is really very important and we are going to discuss it in next class. And in next class we are also going to discuss contribution by Acharya Vangsen for Anuvasana Vasti. Okay, so that's it for today's class. I hope you have learned something really informative and you are covering your all the syllabus points, and just let me know in comment box. Okay, inbox me and I would like to know your feedback. That will really make me that will really give me ideas to how to make your next class more interesting. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your attention and have a great day. Bye bye.